Good afternoon, it's Valerie Ling here. How are you going? I hope that you are well as you listen to this podcast and video. You hustle best when you actually know that you are going to have a rest. You'll find that there will be a series of posts that will probably start to come out very, very soon, just encouraging you to think about rest. And as I was creating these posts, I thought that would seem like a strange thing, and almost offensive thing, and almost inconvenient thing to start to suggest to you. But here's the thing: you hustle best when you know you can take a rest. That's the title of this message today. I'm not one for hustle culture. For me, hustle culture is about the incessant, ongoing, demanding expectation that you will just keep running and doing and reacting and working hard to the ground, because that actually isn't productive. We know that that doesn't actually bring about productivity. But there are going to be some seasons, if you are a startup, if there's change going on in your world, if there's a bunch of unexpected things that have come upon your plate that you can't ignore, that requires you to actually hustle. And that is to work hard and to do the grind, because you just got to keep a couple of balls in the air. That happens. Life happens. That's normal. I don't want anybody listening to me to think that juggling balls is never accepted or expected. It totally is. But here's the thing. When you're in that hustle mode because you've got to do life and that's the energy that's required, you've also got a balance that you're actually probably going to need to have a greater degree of focus. You've got to have a greater degree of motivation and a sense of persistence, right? The persistence to endure will also require a great deal of psychological grit and renewal. And that's why it's quite important to respect your body's and your mind's need for a rest. So, during this hustle time, it's coming close to the end of the year, where you're anticipating things are going to finish up, wind down. If you've got kids, there's a bunch of school stuff that needs to be done. If you don't have kids, if you are single and you're probably working really hard right now. This is because the workload is just piled onto you. Here's the thing: I would love for you this week to carve out some time, whether it's in your lunch or whether it's in a downtime period, to start thinking about when you're going to put your next pit stop. For example, January might be the place where you might want to have a really big all stop or a hard stop. It's really, really important that you stop and do that right now. Don't make your holiday in January the collapse on the floor in a puddle and heap of mess break. What I mean by that is you just kind of hang on and you hold on and you get to December 25th and you go, oh, Christmas, bleh. And you just melt onto the floor. Like, that's not fun. That's not even recharging. That's kind of demoralizing if you get to that point where you think, I should be having a rest now. I should have a break, but gosh, this don't feel good. This just don't feel good. Right, that's going to be demoralizing. Instead, what is it? 25th, 26th, 27th in our practice, we're already talking about our leave plans. What are we going to do? This is the time to start thinking about that. Maybe we can't go overseas. Maybe you're not quite in a position to go to cross borders. However, there could be beaches. There could be a place that you could go to for a week that's COVID safe and not too far. If finances is an issue, maybe you want to put the do not disturb sign on the door for a week. I don't know. What does that look like? Start thinking about it now. And the way to think about that is to really dig in and ask yourself, what do I actually really need? If sleep is what you really need, make it happen. Let some people know that you're going to need to up your sleep in that week. If a physical recharge is what you need, maybe in a different environment, make it happen. Maybe you need to go and plan some escapades to an environment of your choice. Is it beach? Is it mountain? Is it grass? Is it field? Is it meadow? What is it? Make a plan. Maybe you just want to stay home and put that sign outside the door and say, Simplified Christmas 2020 was a decade full of stuff. That's okay. Make the communication now. Let the people know, hey, you know what? I'm just going to have a week where I'm at home and I'm going to shut all the devices off and put that sign on my door. Do it now. Make plans for it, right? So this will be the time now. If you're hustling right now, you will hustle better if you actually know that you're going to have a great all stock coming up. Here's the other thing. You're going to hustle best when you know when you're going to rest. Start thinking for next year. It's pretty common for us in my home that we start talking about the pit stops for next year. There are some pit stops like the all stops that are generally a pattern. It happens on the same month, any year really. Personal retreats that get taken, family holidays that get taken, working holidays where I might be at home but I'm still available to the business. So you want to start thinking about those pit stops, and the best way to reflect on that is to actually take some time and ask yourselves, in this last 12 months, although COVID has interrupted quite a bit of that, when were you noticing that things were piling on and you didn't have quite as much energy? Well, that might be a really good indicator that this time next year, that'll be a time to actually have your pit stop, right? To actually have a bit of a break. So start thinking about that now. The fantastic thing is the more you dig into thinking and planning of your holidays, and the annoying thing is that the little bugs pick up what you're searching for and then you get fed all this stuff on your feed. Yeah. But the nice thing is you actually get to feast on some alternate experiences and consider options that in and of itself is quite rewarding and quite restful. So you hustle best when you actually know you're going to get a rest. Take care.